Dear ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present the paper on the specifics of silver generation shopping behavior in the selected cities of Western Slovakia. The authors of this paper are Professor Alena Dubcova from the Constantine, the Philosopher University in Nitra, and Miroslava Trembošová, Dr. Trembošová. They are both from the same workplace, and Professor Ľudmila Nagyová from Slovak University of Agriculture in Nitra, and me from the Faculty of Material Science and Technology, the Slovak University of Technology in Bratislava. Slovakia is characterized by the aging process of the population. Aging, it is not necessary to perceive as a threat, but rather as a thoughtful possibility of active aging. So, generation 50 and more is known as the silver generation, which is mainly made up of a generation known as the baby boomer. It includes a generation of younger seniors, 50, 60 years old and over 65 years old. This generation is a strong group of potential consumers, and is therefore necessary to pay increased attention to it, in particular to its claims and requirements, including retail. The aim of this paper is to identify the factors that determine the choice of shopping in retail entities, determine the types of shopping behavior of both types of silver generation, and point out their specifics in two regional cities of Western Slovakia, Nitra and Trnava, characterized by automotive industry. The paper is based on behavioral survey conducted in both regional cities and evaluated by the standard methods. As far as theoretical background, seniors' share in the total population is growing. The population has considerable shopping power of accumulating savings, and increasing consumption is becoming significant and promising for the market. The baby boomers is perceived as sandwich generation, but also have responsibilities to their still living parents, which affect the redistribution of its wealth. As far as behavior of senior consumers, we can say that seniors are interested in new products, but not for the satisfaction of specific personal needs, biophysical and psychosocial in older age. Seniors with increasing age have limited ability to use additional information and rely more on memory experience. Older people are more sensitive to product prices, and seniors have a higher loyalty to retail outlets, and seniors prefer the convenience and simplicity of products. As far as methods and the data, behavioral surveys make it possible to obtain so-called soft data. And the data obtained from the field of survey conducted in Nitra in 2015 and in Nitra in 2014 were used to analyze the shopping behavior of the silver generation. By the silver generation, it is meant the population of post-production age over 50 years, which we divided internally into two groups, group 50 and 60 plus. And the respondents were approached outside shopping centers to avoid being directly involved in influence. The polls were mainly streets, pedestrian zones, and bus stops, and consumer respondents' preferences and opinions were evaluated by classical method, comparative analysis based on description, as well as statistical, graphical, and cartographic methods. As far as the questionnaires, they were divided into three basic parts. The first part was focused on knowledge of the respondents' demographic characteristics, gender, age, educational attainment, occupation, permanent residence. In the second part of the questionnaire, the respondents determined the factors by selected domains that affect them when shopping. And in the third part, at their own discretion, they were included in different types of consumer behavior based on methodology of the company JFK Praha. Shopper, typology, media, behavior. Modern shopping orientation consists of three subtypes of customers: influential, demanding, and mobile. And the traditional shopping orientation consists of four shopping subtypes: conservative, saving, loyal, and unpretentious, phlegmatic. You can see that the study areas was Nitra. Nitra has population 80,611, and it is on 187 square meters. And in Nitra, respondents were addressed, and 109 were in the category 50-60, and 108 in the category 60-year-old and older. As far as Trnava, King Bela IV gave Trnava royal privileges, and as far as population, it's about 65,000, and it is on area almost 72 square meters. And there were 220 respondents, of which 111 were younger and 109 older seniors. So they have a similar development in population, position in the settlement system, administrative function, historical development, traffic position, as well as local economy. As far as the results, you can see they are as follows. Between 2001 and 2015, 9 shopping centers were built in the surveyed cities, of which in Nitra 4 and Trnava 5. According to the location, 3 of them were Centro, Max, and Gallery, belong to the type according to the classification out of center. And in Trnava, there are 5 shopping centers with a total gross rentable area about 83,000 square meters. Of these, 3 are out of center, and the new shopping center of Trnava is City Arena, opened in 2015, which is unique in Central European space in connection with a football stadium and is included in the end of center type. The centers like Max, Gallery, and Arcadia belong to the out of center type, and depending on the spatial character, it is a mixed type 1 and 2 sites characterized by spatial proximity to customers' homes and competing companies. The mall Trnava belongs to the group of shopping centers H-Town. So far, both cities as centers of the automotive industry are significant centers of commuting from the territory of Western Slovakia and also centers of trade. The most significant is the daily commuting from their background. Inhabitants who commute to work use their services, healthcare, education, and others, while at the same time making purchases of daily and durable goods, increasing the pressure on retail services, especially on shopping centers near bus and the railway stations, as you can see in the graphs. As far as basic characteristics of respondents in Trnava and Nitra, we can say that the silver generation group consisted of 437 respondents over 50 years, and both cities are represented by almost balanced share in the number of respondents. Nitra 49.66% to 50.34%. And the segment of younger seniors consisted of 220 respondents, of which in Nitra 109 and in Trnava 111. The segment of older seniors was formed of respondents over 60 years old. And this group consisted of 217 respondents, of which 108 in Nitra and 109 in Trnava. Among the seniors, women have a more prominent position in both cities. Women achieved 57.67% of the sample studied, and it is generally known that women buy rather than men, which has been reflected in this generation. There were 1.32 senior women per one senior buyer, and the ratio of respondents in both cities was almost balanced. Nitra 128, Trnava 124, as in both categories of seniors. And Trnava and Nitra are old centers of the secondary and higher university education, which was reflected in the structure of seniors according to the achieved education. And most respondents, 77.8%, have completed secondary education. And as far as higher education, it is represented in 8.24% and primary education in 13.96% respondents. And the silver generation is specific to the job structure. Segment 50-60-year-old, younger seniors are involved in work, are in the progress of preparing for retirement, of which 15.9% are retired, especially premature. The age group 60 and over is made up mainly of pensioners, 93.55%. However, working pensioners, about 6%, are also represented in the group. Factors affecting purchasing. For everyday shopping, the majority of seniors prefer to shop in retail units closest to their homes. In the case of employed seniors, retail establishments located in the vicinity of the workplace are mainly focused on selling food. And the price of goods is one of the decisive factors in choosing a retail store alongside the location retail facility. They are also a primary factor for the seniors of both studied urban segments. Internal response structure of seniors is differentiated, and the price of younger seniors is higher when shopping in both cities, while older ones, the location and its accessibility by public transport. Trnava about 48%, Nitra almost 33%, and then Nitra 35.97% and Trnava 29.37%. So as far as monthly household income of respondents in Nitra and Trnava, you can see that the table shows that the vast majority of respondents manage incomes up to 1,000 euros. Nitra 62.67%, Trnava 72.73%. 50-60-year-old segment achieves higher household income than older seniors. It is a question of wages, which is always greater than retirement. Monthly incomes up to 500 euros are characteristic for almost half of 60 or more years old respondents. And in both towns, this income among older seniors is relatively equally represented. Nitra 49%, Trnava 49%. The growth in monthly household incomes decreases the number of respondents. And in households with older seniors with incomes from 500 to 1,000 euros, 40.74% of respondents in Nitra and 32.11% of respondents. As far as structure of types of shopping behavior of seniors in Nitra and Trnava, we can say that the older generation tends to the traditional type of shopping, which shows a significant share of savings and loyalty, which is also reflected in the seniors of Nitra and Trnava. And 82.3% of respondents were included in the traditional type in Nitra and 78.18% in Trnava. More than 1/5 of respondents have integrated into a modern type of shopping behavior. They were 21.82% in Nitra and 17.97% in Nitra. In both cities, in modern type of shopping behavior are also represented by its subtypes. influential, demanding, and mobile pragmatism. The modern type is more pronounced in the group of younger seniors, 31.11% of respondents in Nitra and 26.76% in Trnava. So, finally, conclusions. Generation 50 years and over, known as the silver generation, with an increasing labor shortage, it has become an increasingly important economic and social force whose position in society is growing. This generation, not homogeneous, is interestingly diverse, not only in terms of age, but also in terms of its characteristics and needs. Already today, they form a strong group of consumers who are not giving adequate attention. And the decisive factor is also the price of the goods, which is associated with various promotion of retail facilities to attract customers. And older seniors also prefer shopping in stores with a familiar atmosphere, which is created by the speed of service and its willingness, the size of the store, but also arrangement of goods, etc. They treat them loyally and often visit them. Seniors tend predominantly to the traditional type of shopping with a smaller proportion of the modern type. This share reflects the interest of the younger segment of seniors in particular. Dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention.